Generals who beckon the war god's hordes to battle. Supernatural warriors without peer. Beings whose thirst for war bears no equal throughout the breadth of the galaxy and within the war itself. In the darkness of the far future, there is only war. Bloodthirsters, generals and warrior champions of the god of war, embody the 40k setting with every fibre of their demonic essence. Unfortunately for the mortal races of the Milky Way galaxy, these beings are appearing in ever more numbers now the cicatrix maledictum has rent the galaxy in two, leaving the Neverborn and Chaos Legions to reap campaigns of slaughter against much of known space. When a Bloodthirster is summoned, these massive avatars of war dominate the battlefield. The manifestation of Khorne's champions will sign the death warrant for any planet unlucky enough to find themselves facing the Blood God's hordes. Note, valued listener, that it is a perilous task indeed to compose lore on such formidable foes as these. By subscribing and ensuring you press the notification bell, my sacrifice will not be in vain should one of these malign creatures choose to pursue me for prying into their existence. Bloodthirsters are birthed of the essence of the god of blood and war itself, mighty Khorne. They wield a number of ancient, immeasurably deadly weapons into combat. The armament of a Bloodthirster can be longer-ranged items such as great blood flails or whips used to strike out at multiple enemies, providing skulls and souls for the blood god more quickly and in great numbers, though the favoured and most iconic of weapons are the single-handed axe of Khorne and the greater, more powerful, double-handed great axe. These weapons often consume the soul of those it slays, sacrificing these unfortunates for the pleasure of Khorne. The Bloodthirster will not spend time on trickery or ruses like that of Slanesh's Keeper of Secrets. It will not study dark magic or enact unending schemes like Tzeentch's Lords of Change, and it will not concoct sector-ravaging diseases like that of Nurgle's Great Unclean Ones. A Bloodthirster exists only to exalt its master through glorious, visceral combat. This may be carried out by seeking the most powerful and skilled champion within the opposing army, and dedicating their skull to the blood god, or through the slaughter of millions in blood-crazed combat, heaping these skulls at the base of Khorne's throne. One could be forgiven for believing the Bloodthirster a straightforward, simple beast. To the contrary, Bloodthirsters are artful and cunning generals, as they are born of the essence of the god of war. Khorne's mightiest generals command their armies with a mastery that far belies their brutish and savage appearance. As they are demons, never born, not of any natural creation, a Bloodthirster's senses are perfectly attuned to the ever-shifting currents of battle, able to monitor and understand the ongoing battle space at a glance. They match this skill with a personal bloody abandon and want for worthy single combat. A Bloodthirster's unnatural skill at arms, inherited from its god at birth and honed over millennia, will ensure that no mere mortal can best them in single combat. To even stand a chance of besting this towering beast of primal rage takes a being of supreme mastery of the art of banishment, such as a veteran Grey Knight, or even those of Primarch physiology. Even then, victory is not assured. In fact, during the early years of the Horus Heresy, the Bloodthirster Kabanda would best Sanguinius in glorious single combat on the planet of Cygnus Prime. The summoning of a Bloodthirster will cause the warping of the natural surrounds on the world in which it has been summoned. Even the mighty and ageless laws of nature bend the knee to the power of the Bloodthirster. From the ground, wellsprings of hot blood will flow. Columns of skulls will rise into the sky, born of the foes vanquished by the demonic legion present on the world. These towers will be added to, using the poor unfortunates combating this threat, and the skull towers, dedications to their master Khorne, will rise until they are visible from orbit. An unending mountain of gore and death, the skulls of so many races gathered in one place, equals in the bloody deaths they have experienced. Even among these powerful creatures of chaos, there are bloodthirsters who are closer to their lord's nature and purpose than others. Skarbrand is one of the most infamous of all Neverborn, the tale of his fall from Khorne's favour known by all the warp's foul denizens. Skarbrand was Khorne's favourite servant, the closest embodiment of Khorne's blood-fueled rage distilled into a being of his own creation. That is, until the Chaos God Sench deceived Skarbrand and stoked his rage to unconceivable heights, resulting in Skarbrand lashing out at Khorne itself with a strike that could fell entire armies. It was so full of malice and raw power. The Blood God, mercy and understanding, alien concepts to him. Realizing this betrayal and noticing the small chink in his armor this blow had caused, grabbed Skarbrand by the throat and beat him repeatedly. In this act of violence inflicted upon his erstwhile favorite servant, Khorne's beating would remove any personality or ability of greater reasoning from Skarbrand, leaving him only a rage-fueled beast. Raising Skarbrand aloft so all within the realm of Khorne could witness the punishment of Khorne's beloved champion, Khorne physically cast Skarbrand from the realm of chaos and into the mortal plane. For 8 days and nights Skarbrand flew, appearing to all onlookers as a bright meteor in the heavens. Upon impact, he would suffer further wounds other than those at the hands of the Blood God's physical reprimand. No longer would Skarbrand sport the full leathery wings of Khorne's favoured servants, his wings now tattered, burned things, and sporting facial scars endured by the hands of a god. Skarbrand is rage incarnate. Unlike other bloodthirsters imbued with the natural talent to lead and monitor the ebb and flow of battle, Skarbrand's only concern is to allow his hate to fuel ever greater acts of slaughter. Armed with twin axes called Slaughter and Carnage, Skarbrand enacts his own bloody crusade across the stars, ever seeking to make his way back to Khorne's brass throne. Following Skarbrand's banishment from the realm of Khorne, Angrath was elevated by Khorne as his enforcer and expression of his will. Created to be the supreme Khornate warrior, Angrath is perhaps the greatest demon in existence, his power and martial ability comparable only to Skarbrand himself. Given Skarbrand's betrayal of Khorne and the subsequent elevation of Angrath, these two bloodthirsters are the direst of enemies, each swearing to eradicate the other were their paths to ever cross. Khorne itself has decreed he will never allow this to happen, as each of these beings' bloodlust, skull tally, and passion for sowing war and chaos wherever they roam is so great that Khorne would not wish to lose either. So mighty is Angrath that he has only been summoned twice since the days of the Horus Heresy. This is due to the fact that to attempt to request the presence of Angrath from Khorne's domain, one must be truly favoured by the Blood God. He will not permit Angrath's presence in the mortal realm, for anything less than a grand sacrifice by a truly mighty martial champion. Once summoned to the material plane, Ungrath's mighty form is all but impervious to mortal weapons, whilst he combs the battlefield searching for the most worthy champion or mighty machine of war to combat. Kabanda is another Bloodthirster greatly favoured by Khorne, belonging to the first host, which contains the 8 most powerful Bloodthirsters, the top hierarchy of all their kind in existence. Ungrath himself also belongs to this host, which gives insight into how mighty Kabanda is. Kabanda appears in both the 30k and 40k settings. He is the mortal enemy of Sanguinius and his sons, the Blood Angels. Kabanda holds the distinct honour of having defeated Sanguinius in single combat on the planet of Cygnus Prime, after the Primarch refused to pledge himself and his legion to the Blood God, and stayed true to the Emperor of mankind. He would then be defeated by Sanguinius during the siege of Terra's imperial palace. In more recent lore, Kabanda and his Khornate host have rescued the Blood Angels' home planet and system from the ravages of the Tyranid High Fleet Leviathan, so as to ensure only Kabanda has the pleasure and honour of defeating them once and for all. As the 41st millennium draws to a close, the demon Primarch Angron will soon be manifesting in the material plane, uniting the demonic and mortal followers of Khorne into his own blood crusade. The last time Angron did this, upon Armageddon, he brought with him the Cruor Praetoria, 12 of Khorne's strongest Bloodthirsters. Only time will tell, with the soon-to-be-released World Eaters Codex and Arcs of Omen supplements, whether the mighty Bloodthirsters of Khorne will again be unleashed en masse upon the realm of man. Be aware the next video we are releasing is the unboxing of a Bloodthirster of Khorne. We will be comparing the model's appearance and armament to its description and artwork in the lore. Subsequently, we will also be doing model preparation, assembly, and painting videos, bringing this greater demon to life on the tabletop. Don't forget to like and subscribe, as well as hit that notification bell so you're made aware of any more new content being released. Thanks for listening. Take it easy. Have a good one.